Britain promised clean energy, but it still needs oil, and that tension is playing out right now in the windswept port city of Aberdeen, Scotland. The government of Prime Minister Keir Starmer came to power on a bold promise: lead a clean energy revolution that would revive a stagnant economy and shield consumers from the kind of energy price shocks that followed Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But delivering on that promise is turning out to be a lot more complicated than the campaign trail made it sound. Here's the problem. Britain's North Sea oil and gas industry still supports an estimated 120,000 mostly well-paid jobs. It still provides more than half of the country's domestic energy consumption. And the alternatives, offshore wind, hydrogen, and other renewables, are still in their early stages. So while the Labour government wants to move fast toward clean energy, it also can't afford to watch the fossil fuel industry collapse underneath it. Britain's own energy minister, Michael Shanks, put it plainly earlier this year, saying that while the country makes this transition, oil and gas will play an important role in the economy for decades to come. That's a significant admission from a government that ran on green energy. And the industry is already feeling the squeeze. Capital investment in British North Sea oil and gas has fallen from $27 billion in 2014 to just $4.8 billion in 2024, according to consulting firm Wood Mackenzie. Only 3 exploration wells have been drilled in British waters this year. Total Energies, one of the largest producers in British waters, has told its North Sea team to halt exploration entirely. Shell and Equinor just announced they're merging their British operations, widely seen as a cost-cutting move. And a major new project called Buck and Horst, worth an estimated $1 billion and hundreds of jobs, has been put on ice. What's driving this pullback? A mix of factors. The government imposed a windfall tax on energy company profits after prices spiked post-Ukraine, and later extended it through 2030. A court ruling this past June said that new oil and gas licenses must account for the emissions impact of the fuels they produce. And Labour has pledged not to issue any new licenses at all, a promise it's still figuring out how to keep. Environmental activists are also in court trying to block major projects, including Shell's Jackdaw development in the North Sea, where the company has already spent around £750 million. As Graham Kellis of Wood Mackenzie put it, there are quite a few other places in the world offering similar geological opportunities with far lower political risk. The uncertainty is weighing on workers too. Kyle Griffiths, a painter on an offshore platform, captured the anxiety of many when he said, "Nobody knows what the jobs are going to be. Nobody knows what they're going to need yet." The government points to offshore wind and hydrogen as the future, but to the people whose livelihoods depend on oil and gas today, that future still looks murky. Some companies are beginning to bridge the gap. A tech firm called Fenix, which uses artificial intelligence to manage risk on oil platforms, is now moving into offshore wind. And researchers at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen argue that an orderly, managed decline of oil output gives the best shot at a seamless transfer from one industry to the next. But as Paul DeLue of the Energy Transition Institute notes, the mounting evidence of climate change puts enormous pressure on governments to move faster than an orderly transition might allow. Britain's clean energy ambitions are real, but so is its dependence on the very industry it's trying to phase out, and how it walks that line in the months ahead will shape the future of tens of thousands of workers and the country's energy security for years to come. That's the story from Aberdeen. I'm glad you tuned in.